So glad you can join us on this Thursday. And today I'd like to encourage us with one of the exchanges that the Lord Jesus had with the religious leaders of that day. He was getting close to his crucifixion and they were trying to entrap him. And I just love the answer that he gave the Sadducees about the matter of the resurrection of the dead. They tried to trip him up on that, and his answer about the woman and all the men that she had married who would be her husband in the life to come. His answer, of course, was tremendous, as he makes it very clear there won't be marriage in heaven as such. But then he deals directly with their unbelief. And you know, that is our problem whenever we face problems in our lives, and that's the lack of ability to trust that God knows what he's doing and that God's way is right. And so he says in verse 29, Jesus answered and said unto them, Ye do err, not knowing the Scriptures nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. And I get stirred every time I hear that. Our God is the God of the living. The same God that spoke to Abraham, the same God that spoke to Isaac and Jacob, to Moses, to Samuel, to David, to the prophets, to the disciples, to the Apostle Paul, and right on down throughout history. The same God who has worked in the past is the same God who is ready to work today. Yes, this is Matthew chapter 22. This is part of the Bible. It happened back then. But what Jesus says there is applicable to us in 2021. We could say the same thing. God is the God of the living, not of the dead. He is the God of all of those who have lived throughout church history, delivered those men, delivered those godly women, done great works, did miracles, moved across countries with the power of the gospel. It's the same God. And my friends, we serve a God who is just as powerful as he has always been. One of the things that concerns me is that you almost think, hearing some of the things that are said among good conservative churches, that God doesn't do as much today as he did in the past. You can't expect God to do great works today. This is a limited day, which almost makes it as though God is a limited God. That is not true. In fact, that's the first step toward unbelief and liberalism. My father used to often say that the minute you discount what God can do, you are heading toward the path of unbelief, and that is exactly right. Oh, friends, today I want you to be encouraged. The God of David, the God of Daniel, the God of Jeremiah, he's still alive. He proved himself when he came to this earth. He rose again in power. And though things may seem dark, he is alive and he is working. We can trust him. He is a God that is the God of the living and of the dead, and he is ready to do a great work in our lives today.